Welcome to this symmetry tutorial on drawing basic shape entities. Shape entities are your basic building blocks in symmetry. First, undock the toolbox panel on the left and click Entities in the upper window and look at your options in the lower panel. In geometry, a plane is a flat surface with no thickness. So it makes sense to draw it on the ground first. Select the Plane Entity tool and left-click in the canvas to define a point, then, holding down the left mouse button, move your mouse along the ground and let go to define the shape of the plane. Try lifting the plane off the ground and then enter play time. Gravity. That's because a drawn entity is created by default with a rigid body which allows the entity to respond to physics while in play time. Next up is the box entity. Your first click and drag in the canvas will draw a plane, just like before, but now a second click will define height and create a 3D box. Brilliant! Now, let's indulge your inner toddler. Here's a simple tower of blocks made with stacked boxes. Create an additional box and place it on top of the tower. You know what to do. Enter playtime and knock down that audacious tower of blocks. Excellent. Now try making boxes of different dimensions. How about a box that's low and wide? Or maybe one that's tall and skinny. You'd be surprised at how many objects you can represent with a variety of box entities. Let's look at drawing a sphere entity. Creating a sphere is easy. Click, drag, let go, but there's one drawing behavior where the sphere is different. Your first click will define the center of the sphere and the drag will define the radius of the sphere. So, in order to create a large sphere, click and drag your mouse away from the point of your first click. To create a small sphere, click and drag your mouse only slightly away from the initial point. Nice. Now, let's get Newtonian. Enter play time, and knock those spheres into each other. Gotta love those equal and opposite reactions. Good stuff. So far we've created boxes, planes, and spheres. Now let's look at cylinders, cones, and tubes. In geometry, a cylinder is a solid object with two identical circular ends and one curved side. Click, drag and release in the canvas to draw a circle on the ground. Then move your mouse up and down to define the height. Well done indeed. Next up is the cone, which is essentially a cylinder with a modified endpoint. Undock the toolbox panel, choose Entities in the upper window and Cone in the lower window. Click, drag and release in the canvas to draw a circle on the ground. Then move your mouse up and down to define the height. Click and drag again to modify the top of the cylinder. Moving your mouse up will open the cone like a funnel. Moving your mouse down will close your cone down to a point. Cone-tastic. To use the Wedge Tool, draw the entity like you would a box. The Wedge Tool will fill only half the box, creating a wedge. The possibilities. But now it's time to get tubular. In the toolbox panel, select Entities and then Tube. Click, drag and release in the canvas to draw a circle on the ground. Then move your mouse to draw another circle and click to create a ring. Click, drag, and release again to add height to your ring and create a tube. Totally tubular. Before we finish, let's quickly look at a few other entities that might feel more intuitive now. Ready? Use the Capsule Tool by drawing a sphere and then adding some height. Nice. Now you have a cylinder with hemisphere ends. Use the rounded box tool by drawing a box and then using your final click, drag, release to round the corner vertices. Now you have a box with round corners. Use the rounded cylinder tool by drawing a cylinder and then using your final click, drag, release to round the edges. What a smooth operator you are! There are a few more entities available to you, but let's stop here for now. Thank you for learning a little bit of symmetry today. Feel free to stay and enjoy the music. If you want to practice these skills yourself, download Symmetry and jump right in, or follow the interactive tutorials.